Vegeta stood alone in the Capsule Corporation training chamber, staring at a faint shimmer of golden red light hovering in the corner of the room, a residual tear in space, left behind from the last time he and Goku had tapped into Super Saiyan God energy together. Bulma had warned him not to touch it. Naturally, he'd been staring at it for 3 days straight. "It's not closing," he muttered to himself. "It's not closing because it's not finished opening." He reached toward it. The moment his fingers brushed the light, the chamber around him dissolved entirely, replaced by heat, red skies, and the distant rumble of a planet he hadn't seen with his own eyes in decades. Planet Vegeta. Not memory, not vision. He was standing on the scorched red soil itself. Twin suns burning low on the horizon, towering black spires of the royal palace rising in the distance. In the sky above, barely visible, the unmistakable silhouette of a Frieza Force scout ship passed overhead on routine patrol. "Impossible," he whispered, a voice, gruff and commanding, cut through the heat behind him. "You, identify yourself. This is restricted royal ground." Vegeta turned and froze, standing before him. Flanked by 2 armored guards, was a tall, broad-shouldered Saiyan with a thick black mustache, ceremonial armor, and a scouter over one eye. King Vegeta, his father, younger than Vegeta had ever seen him, alive. Vegeta's voice caught in his throat for the first time in years. "I need to speak with you, alone." King Vegeta's eyes narrowed, studying the stranger's face with growing unease, the sharp widow's peak, the proud posture, something unmistakably, uncomfortably familiar. "You have my son's eyes," the king said slowly. "Who are you?" Vegeta dismissed the guards with a single sharp gesture, an instinct so natural it startled him. King Vegeta, against every protocol, waved them off as well, his curiosity overriding caution. "Speak," the king said, once they were alone, quickly. "The Frieza Force patrol rotates back through this quadrant within the hour." "I'm not from anywhere you'd recognize," Vegeta said carefully. "But I know things about Planet Vegeta's future, things you need to hear." The king's jaw tightened. "You're a spy. Frieza's men have tried subtler tricks." "If I were Frieza's man," Vegeta said coldly, "I wouldn't be warning you that he's going to destroy this entire planet in less than a week." Silence. The twin suns cast long shadows between them. King Vegeta's hand moved instinctively toward his sword. "That is treason to even speak aloud, let alone within sight of a patrol route." "It's the truth," Vegeta said. "Frieza knows the legend of the Super Saiyan. He fears it. He's already given the order. This planet, every soul on it, has days left, not years." The king's composed fury cracked, just slightly, into something rawer. "And what would you have me do? Openly rebel against the being who commands 100 armies with a glance?" "I'd have you save your son," Vegeta said quietly. "Whatever else happens, save him." Before the king could respond, a sudden commotion erupted near the palace gates, shouting. The clash of armor, a low guttural roar Vegeta recognized instantly. A younger, leaner Nappa came barreling around the corner, dragging a bloodied Frieza Force soldier by the collar, tossing him roughly at the king's feet. "Found this one skulking near the eastern barracks, my king. Claims he was just patrolling with a hidden scanner pointed at the royal vault, more like." The soldier, still conscious, spat blood and hissed, "Lord Frieza will hear of unregistered visitors within the palace walls." Nappa silenced him with a single kick before he could finish. King Vegeta's expression hardened into full command. "Take him to the interrogation chamber. See that his report never reaches a transmitter." Nappa's eyes narrowed at the stranger, sizing him up with open suspicion, but hold the soldier away without further question. "That," King Vegeta said grimly once they were gone, "is exactly why open rebellion isn't so simple as you make it sound. One loose word, and Frieza levels this planet a week early out of spite alone." "I know," Vegeta said. "That's exactly why I'm not asking you to fight him. I'm asking you to get people out. quietly, without triggering anything Frieza's men would notice until it's too late to stop it. King Vegeta studied him a long moment, something calculating behind his proud expression. "You have his exact bearing," he said slowly, "his stubbornness. Even his silence, when he doesn't want to answer a question directly, a pause. Who exactly are you to my son?" Vegeta's throat tightened. "Someone who's seen what he becomes." "And what does he become?" "Strong enough," Vegeta said, "to make Frieza regret ever setting foot on this planet." For the first time, something shifted in King Vegeta's expression, pride, sharp and immediate, cutting through his fear. "Then he will avenge us." "He does more than avenge you," Vegeta said. "He becomes the strongest Saiyan who has ever lived. He fights gods. He saves entire universes. He has a family, a son of his own." King Vegeta's composed mask, forged over a lifetime of war and rule, finally broke completely. He turned away, one hand pressed against the ancient stone wall of the palace, his shoulders trembling with something between grief and disbelief. "All of that," he said, voice rough, "and I will never see any of it." "No," Vegeta admitted, "you won't." "Then tell me his name," the king said, turning back, eyes wet but fierce. "Tell me the name of the son who becomes all of that." Vegeta's own voice nearly failed him. "Vegeta," he said, "you name him after yourself." The king's breath caught audibly. He studied the stranger's face again, really studied it this time, the widow's peak, the flame-shaped hair, the exact stubborn set of the jaw he saw every morning in the mirror. "No," he breathed, "it's not possible." "It is," Vegeta said quietly. "I'm your son, grown, from a future you'll never get to see." King Vegeta stared at him for a long, silent moment, a lifetime of royal composure fighting against a father's raw disbelief. Before he could speak again, small, hurried footsteps echoed down the corridor. "Father." Nappa said, "I'm not allowed to train in the East Wing today," but he wouldn't say why. Both men turned. A small boy stood frozen in the doorway, no older than 6, wild spiky black hair, arms crossed in an already familiar defiant stance, staring up at the stranger with open, unguarded curiosity. Young Vegeta. Adult Vegeta felt something crack open in his chest that he hadn't prepared for at all. The boy tilted his head, studying the stranger's face with the same sharp, appraising look adult Vegeta gave everyone he'd ever met. "You look like father," the boy said bluntly, but older and angrier. "Vegeta," the king said, voice suddenly unsteady, "go back to your chambers." "I don't want to," the boy said, crossing his arms tighter. "Who is he?" Adult Vegeta crouched slowly to the boy's eye level, an instinct that surprised even himself. Up close, the resemblance was almost unbearable. The same stubborn furrow in the brow, the same refusal to back down from anything. "Someone who used to be exactly like you," Vegeta said quietly. "Difficult, proud, convinced no one could ever be stronger." The boy's chin lifted, unimpressed. "No one is stronger than me. I'm going to be the strongest Saiyan who ever lived." Adult Vegeta's throat tightened. "You will be," he said. "Eventually. It'll take longer than you think. You'll lose more than you think, too, but you'll get there." The boy studied him, suspicious but intrigued. "How do you know that?" "Because I was there," Vegeta said simply, "for all of it." King Vegeta stepped forward, placing a firm hand on the boy's shoulder. "That's enough for now. Go find Nappa. Tell him I said training resumes at midday." The boy hesitated, glancing between the two identical faces one last time, the stranger's grim, weathered eyes, and his father's uncharacteristically shaken expression, before finally turning and darting back down the corridor. For a long moment, neither man spoke. "He has no idea," King Vegeta finally said, voice hollow. "What's coming for him?" "No," Vegeta agreed. "He doesn't. And there's a part of me that wants to tell him everything, warn him, prepare him, spare him even one moment of what's ahead." "Why don't you?" Vegeta was quiet for a long moment, watching the empty corridor where the boy had vanished. Because everything that boy goes through, he said finally, is exactly what makes him who I am. If I take away the pain, I don't know what's left standing in its place. King Vegeta absorbed this in silence, something like reluctant understanding settling into his weathered features. Then let me look at you instead, he said, voice thick, turning back to his adult son fully. Just once, let me see the man I helped make, even if I'll never know I did. For a moment, neither of them said anything at all. I have to go back soon, Vegeta finally said. The rift won't hold much longer. Then before you do, King Vegeta said, straightening, forcing his composure back into place like armor, tell me one thing truthfully. Was it worth it? Everything you went through. Vegeta thought of Bulma, of Trunks, of Earth, and the strange, unexpected peace he'd found on a planet that wasn't even his own. Of a small boy down the corridor who had no idea just how much he'd survive. Yes, he said simply, every bit of it. King Vegeta nodded once, sharp and final, the way a king nods when a decision has been made. Then go, live it. Don't waste a single moment of it looking back at us. The golden red light behind Vegeta pulsed, beginning to collapse inward. Wait, Vegeta said suddenly, the evacuation ships, the ones in the northern quadrant, get civilians onto them the day Frieza's fleet arrives. Don't wait for orders, move Nappa's family first, quietly, before anyone notices ships are missing. You won't save everyone, but you'll save some. King Vegeta's eyes hardened with new purpose. Consider it done. The light swallowed Vegeta whole. And Planet Vegeta, its heat, its twin suns, its king, its small boy who would grow up not knowing how close he'd come to a warning he never received, dissolved back into memory. Vegeta collapsed to one knee in the Capsule Corporation training chamber, breathing hard, the golden red rift finally sealing shut behind him for good. Bulma burst through the door moments later, having heard the crash. Vegeta, what happened? Are you? She stopped, seeing his face. Something in his expression she'd never seen before, not anger, not pride. Something quieter. I'm fine, he said, standing slowly. You don't look fine, she said carefully. Vegeta looked toward the window, toward the sky, toward a planet that no longer existed anywhere except in memory. And now, somehow, in one final conversation he'd never expected to have, toward a small boy, too, who he'd once been, who had no idea yet how much he'd have to survive. I got to ask my father something I never thought I'd get the chance to ask, he said quietly. What was that? Vegeta allowed himself, just for a moment, something rare, a small, genuine smile. Whether he'd be proud of me, he said. Turns out he already was.